All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Puck Rock Rangers. I'm Stefan. This is Palmer, and things are looking up. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we're back. We skipped last week. We have a lot to catch up on since we last spoke. The Rangers have gone 4-1-2 against some pretty elite talent. There's been
Yeah,
last minute magic. There's been controversial officiating, 2 OT gut punch losses at the hands of some of the NHL's best. Just a reminder, please like the video, subscribe on
please.
YouTube, and follow us on X and Insta. Helps us out quite a bit. It's been a while, Steph. Let's catch up on some personal stuff games. What's going on in your world?
Well, Christmas is coming. Been doing a little bit of Christmas shopping. Uh, Watching a little bit of hockey. Actually, it doesn't happen very regularly, but we're in Virginia, and we got a good bit of snow this week. We had a little snowstorm. Then today we had a bigger snowstorm. Probably the reason why Palmer is not here right now. The roads are all froze, so we're trying something new for now. But we had a lot of fun out there. We built some snowmen. Megan pegged me with some freaking snowballs. It's like she used my daughter as a distraction. My daughter like grabbed my attention in the middle of a snowball fight, and then as soon as I look over, right in my face, I just got pegged. It was terrible. And then I'm like wiping the snow out. Cora's talking to me again, and then it happens one more time, back to back. So I wasn't mad.
Damn.
I kind of got her back a little bit, but we're enjoying the snow. What's been going on with you?
Yeah, we're enjoying the snow too. It snowed Friday. Here we are on Monday. It snowed again today, like midday. So kind of shut things down. It was slow moving getting home. Yeah, Stefan alluded to, I'm in my murky lair. Stefan looks a little clearer than me. He's got some better lighting, but yeah, man. Wanted to welcome a new member to the Puck Rock Rangers family. Oops, I did it again. We have adopted a 2-year-old Doberman named Henrik. He's had a
The
couple
king.
different names. Yeah, but we're gonna call him Henrik, and so far he's been going with it, so it's been sticking. Been to
Nice.
a couple shows. Coded is my band is recording in January with a friend of the show, Nate, with Cicada Records. Excited about that, and we're actually playing a rival booking show in at Banditos, February 15th.
Sweet.
We'll update the thousands of listeners as we get closer to that. But otherwise, man, I'm good. I've been watching some of these games. I haven't been able to watch every single one of them, but the Rangers have looked good. They're starting to turn things around. So since we last spoke, I'm going to rattle off the games. I don't think we need to go over every single one because it's been a couple weeks. But like I said earlier, they've been 4-1-2 with
Yeah.
wins against Carolina, Boston, Dallas, and Ottawa. A stinker mixed in against Tampa Bay, and a couple gutsy losses at MSG against Colorado and Vegas. I wanted to focus mostly on Dallas, Colorado, and Vegas because Carolina's a good team too, but we always beat them, seemingly. But yeah, the Dallas game was awesome. Really, all three games were awesome. Just didn't like the ending of one in particular. We'll get into that. But what stood out to you about the Dallas game?
Um, what stood out most is that they competed after pretty much up until the Tampa game. There's really been kind of like boring hockey. Even if they've been winning, it's been really just kind of slow and boring and predictable.
Yeah,
And then Tampa absolutely demolished us and put us all into panic mode. And then we come back and play the Stars, and it's like, where the hell was this team? Where the hell were they? It was exciting to watch. A lot of back and forth. They're one of the top teams in the league. It was a pleasant surprise. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that game, and then we'll get into the other two games, but that seemed like a turning point for the
Yeah.
team, kinda.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, even this time last year, the loss against Ottawa really stood out. Um,
Yeah,
you, if you remember, they were up. I think the infamous Keandre Miller, or one of his infamous turnovers late, and Brady Tkachuk scores in overtime and game over. So for us to go up there and win on the road against a team that's been playing pretty well, has plenty of
yeah,
stars on it, and is a tough team that typically plays the Rangers pretty hard. That was a good game. Yeah, I mean Dallas was awesome. All three games have had some last minute magic. Excuse me.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
all
been
it's been awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting, but it's been 2 years since we got to see a late comeback like that. A goal when
Yeah,
we actually pulled the goalie and it turned into something good. The boys just they had this level of like resilience that we haven't been getting, and they actually fought for it, and they made us happy. I've no
yeah,
all three games it seemed like we're like that kind of.
yeah, yeah. And we'll get into Vegas a little bit, but that one felt a little empty at the end, and some of that was because of the officiating
Oh
decisions,
my god!
and some of that was just because the Rangers didn't close it out. But yeah, Dallas. Susie scores. Rangers score first, which is big for this team,
Very.
seemingly very big, and they don't do it all the time. So that was big. Susie cleaned up a lava rebound, which I thought was awesome. And Susie won the battle, and the Rangers don't always win those battles, so I love that.
Yeah.
Then you get the Cooley game tire late, and that's what Stefan was talking about earlier with the goalie pulled. That never happens for the Rangers, man.
Never.
I see the goalie get pulled, and every time I roll my eyes, and I'm like, because this team just doesn't dictate and hold possession well like some of the other better teams in this league, and that it's almost like a turnstile. Like as soon
Yeah.
as the puck gets turned over, it's in our net. It was good to see that not happen. And on the heels of, if you remember about halfway through the third, there was that JT Miller turnover that led to the 2-1, the Mikko Rantanen, and who was he with? It wasn't Robo, it was
Um.
Cooley's buddy. Who's that? Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, those guys go in, 2-on-1, bing bang boom in the back of the net. And the Rangers could have packed it in right there, but they didn't. They stuck with it. And then you get the Gavrikov, Vladdy overtime backhand shovel off a Panarin shot. So I like that, man. A lot of Rangers crashing that, following up on shots. It wasn't all one and done, man.
Yeah, I've been calling him Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, man. You ever
It's
heard that Guar
it's
song?
what is it?
There's a Guar song, Vlad the Impaler.
Oh yeah, Vlad the Impaler was a
Yeah.
real thing. Uh, I learned about him when Megan and I watched the Vikings series. We watched
Oh
like
yeah.
the all three seasons. Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, he was a badass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Any horror fan, any fan of Dracula knows Vlad for sure.
So yeah, man, it was just
But all right.
nice.
So this takes us to Colorado. I mean, the Rangers about the Colorado game.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a quick second. Say it again.
Well, yeah, I was just saying it takes us to the Colorado game. The Rangers played about as well as you can expect them to play
Yeah,
against this superior team. And it kind of was the same story the first time we played them. Their stars are brighter. We don't have a McKinnon. We don't have a McCarr. And that was really the difference in the what McKinnon and McCarr both had 2 goals in the first matchup, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm
yeah,
mistaken. McKinnon definitely had 2 goals in this one, including the overtime. And it's one of those things like you don't want to see your team lose, and it stings in overtime. But when it's Nathan McKinnon, you just kind of got to be like, I mean, that's the most dangerous player in the game right now.
yeah. McKinnon definitely had 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second game. He's,
Yeah.
in my opinion, better than Connor McDavid right now. Uh, I mean, at least right now. I'm not going to say like in general,
This
but right
this
now
season,
he's the best. He's the best person in the league
yeah,
by
right now.
by a long shot.
Yep, I would have
But
to agree.
you can't be mad at the Rangers. And like the post game analysis said, Henrik said it, not your Henrik, our Henrik. He said they didn't lose a point, they won a point. And that's exactly how it was.
Yeah, and no more victories, but like when you face, I mean, a truly elite team, and you take it right down to the wire like that, you gotta be proud. You gotta be happy with that.
And I had a feeling that Colorado was going to come and like kind of just give us a hard time just because the very night before they got their ass whooped by the Islanders in regulation. Islanders handed them their second regulation loss of the season. They probably didn't like that very much. They didn't want to come to New York and lose 2 games to both the New York teams. I just had a feeling that they were going to really give it to us, but we withheld our own. I did not expect us to play as good as we did.
No, I was on the road all day. That's Friday or Saturday when the Rangers played Colorado. We were driving up to go get Henrik, and actually Henrik and I listened to the game on the way back. It was like a 3-hour drive, and it literally started right as we got in the truck, so it worked out perfect on that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just so I didn't get to watch. I listened, but yeah, Colorado's just too tough, man. They're too good. They're too
Fun
good.
little fun little fact. That game was a matinee game. It was 12:30. I had a baby shower to be at 3 o'clock. So right as the game was ending, of course, we had to get in the car. I watched the third period in the car, and we're pulling up, and it goes into overtime. My friends, they're all from Colorado, and
Oh,
like they're all like talking shit to me the whole night, throwing little jabs, like, "Oh, you see this?" Showing me the screen. So a shout out to Connor for making me miserable. Connor and Bailey, and congrats on the baby too.
that team's a wagon, man. Really
Yeah,
wagon.
but I did give it back a little. I said, we should have never made it that far. So
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna text the RVA Rangers thread because I saw some predictions going around, and my prediction, just my gut, was telling me that game. I think I was gonna say the Rangers were gonna play well, but we're gonna lose 3-1, and it was just gonna be kind of like one of those kind of games, and it was pretty close to that. It was actually a reversed goal or a called back goal for Colorado away from that very likely being the final,
yeah,
but.
the high stick.
But let's talk about Vegas. That's the game that's fresh on everyone's mind. I'll be honest, my ass was still about that. I've calmed down a little bit, but that game was really a tale of 3 periods. It
I was
was the
pissed.
first where you don't want to make excuses, but the guys are on a second game of a back to back, and just looked like shit in the first period. I don't know what
Yeah,
the shot.
that
I remember telling Raynell, as if she gives a shit. I remember I was like, fucking shots are 11-2 or something, 11-3. I mean, I was pissed. You
after
know?
the first period, I thought it was a repeat of what was who was it that we played? The Lightning. It was like a repeat of the Lightning all over again. And then they came out in the second period and looked like a
Yeah,
completely different
yeah,
team.
yeah. No, they ruled the second, and that's why I'm saying tale of 3 periods because it was the first where they got caved. Second, they really dictated, and then the third. I like the third overall. I think they
Yeah.
didn't turn, but they could have been more aggressive. I think that's my counter when what keeps me from completely blaming the refs is that look, you gotta finish things off. You gotta try to get that go ahead goal or whatever. Insurance. But so the third, I don't want to say they let off the gas. Vegas is a good team. Vegas definitely pushed, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that the refs decided to kind of take over the last minute or last 2 minutes of that game. Um, you know, two guys that are kind of going at it all game. Why don't you call that shit in the second? You call that shit at the beginning of the third. You don't call that with 2 minutes left. In a close game. I hated that.
It was just such a bullshit sequence of events.
Yeah. Were you listening to the Rangers broadcast?
Yeah, they were pissed.
Yeah, Boiler was not happy.
No, I wouldn't. I understand. So, like you said, they were going at it the whole game, and then with less than 2 minutes left in the game, they want to call roughing on a shove.
For a couple little shoves on the way to the bench. That kind of shit. Like we've all watched Matthew Tkachuk and Brady. That's shit that happens every single game. Little whacks on the way to the bench. And then they missed that blatant trip of Robertson,
so
right? I mean, right there at center ice, the ref is standing right there.
Right there. You watch the replay, you're just like, how did they not catch that? He was there.
That's almost one of those calls. Like, I get it; it's overtime. You want to swallow the whistles. You want to let the guys play. A trip is a trip. I mean, it is an infraction, right? It wasn't like a borderline cross check. It was a trip. The guy tripped him up. I don't know.
What gets me is that they call that as a trip. No, they don't call that as a trip. But earlier in the game, homie steps on the stick and falls, and they call that as a trip.
Yes,
like they weren't like he was reaching out into his skates. They were battling, and he stepped on his stick. They call that, but then they won't call the blatant trip. It was just a ridiculous series of events.
The Vegas defender, I don't remember who it was swinging their stick and caught Robertson's feet. That is tripping, textbook. I don't know how they didn't call that. And you just know, like, when shit like that happens, it's like, I said it right then and there. I said they're going to win. I said Vegas is going to win this game. And right off that bounce back play or a bank shot play right off the faceoff, and we as Ranger fans get to delight in watching brutal overtime losses back to back at the hands of like some of the best players in the league.
Yeah, not ideal.
I mean, it can't be some scrub. It has to be Nate and Jacko, right?
Yeah, that sucked. It just sucked.
Yeah.
The deserve to win a meter showed that it should have been. We deserved better.
Yeah.
So we did. What you got next in the game notes, man? I think you done with Vegas. I think we kind of.
I am. Yeah. I don't have a lot of notes. I think I wanted to catch up on the last couple games. There's really not a lot of like news in Ranger world. I mean, I saw Sherry sat for a game. I think he should have been out longer. I saw some joking online that he scored that goal. Now he bought himself some time. It's bad because I thought the same thing. Like, you're happy for the Rangers to score, but when I saw it was Sherry, I was like, God damn it, he's gonna stick around.
You remember who I gave the game stick to last week? Last episode?
It was him to get. It was a game not stick. Yeah.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah. Hey, it worked. It got him
on
going.
The board.
He now has 1 goal in 30-something games.
It was a pretty big goal, though.
I don't know how you play on the second line and you have 1 goal, but that's insane.
It didn't change my opinion much about him.
No, but like I said, that bought him some games. He's going to be playing until at Christmas.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, he's already the apple of Sully's eye. He's his like niece's husband or something, right? He's married to his niece.
Something. His coffee getter.
Such a coffee getter. He's a seat filler at the ESPYs.
Yeah, he's the personal assistant.
I'm trying to think of any other news. Anything stand out to you that's gone on lately?
Maybe. How do you say that guy's name? The guy who got called up. I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me.
Yeah, and I want to say
it's Shimalash. Rosenberger.
It's not spelled like that. It's not like it's spelled like it sounds. So I don't, or it looks like it sounds. I like him though. I mean, I like what I've seen so far. He's a big body forward on the bottom six. I'd rather a guy like that. I mean, I'm always going to defer to the kids over a guy like Sherry or Radish. Oh, that was another thing I meant to bring up. Radish was out the last game against Vegas, right?
Hey, is it just me or does Jack Eichel look like Brickma from Rookie of the Year? A little bit.
Yeah, I've seen that comparison. The most famous comparison is him and the dude. What's his name? Merv from Home Alone.
Merv from Home Alone. So good.
Speaking of lookalikes, and I love Austin Matthews, but how does that guy have millions of dollars and he's starting to look more like Cheech Marin? Like, dude, how do you have millions of dollars and you just have terrible hair?
Yeah, like he could literally buy like plugs from Europe if he had wanted to. He's loaded. He just don't care.
He could have the best hair, and he looks like Cheech Marin. I don't know.
Hey, like in the Boondocks, he says, "Man, these people don't care about nothing. They're rich."
Like, I realize I don't have the greatest hairline either, but trust me, if I had Austin Matthews money, I'd probably have broccoli head like one of these kids walking around.
Every time I see the memes where they like post a lineup of players, but they make his forehead really long, it always geeks me out. For some reason, they always smoke him.
Well, and I feel bad because, and I'm just joking. Like, I don't, believe in
Yeah.
judging physical appearance, really. But just talking shit, like you see him in his promo pictures for Team US, and it's like all the guys look sharp, and then you see him, I don't know, man. Do something with that hair.
I
Looks
don't think
terrible.
he cares. I do not think
I
he
don't.
cares. I think he just
clearly
is chilling. He's happy as could be. He knows he's a good player. He knows he's rich.
and that's
He
awesome.
does not
It's
care
just
at all. It's good.
it's just funny because he is kind of like a fashion forward dude, so you think he would care about that.
Yeah,
But
he's
anyways,
just
we're
super
talking
chilled
way
out.
more. We're spending more time on his hair than I expected. I just wanted to
Okay,
make a little joke, but
let's move on. Are we gonna do this?
yeah, I want to go over the next couple games first because there is some significance coming up. So the next three
Okay.
games, they're playing. The boys have a break, so they're not playing tonight. They're not playing tomorrow. They
Yeah.
do play Wednesday in Chicago against an up and coming team. Chicago last season was a floor mat. Not the case this year. Berto has looked really good. They got some guys there, man. That's a team Rangers got to take serious.
And they're probably not happy because they just lost to the Ducks like 6-1 or something like that. I stopped watching when it was 6-1.
Yeah, I saw that. That was bad. So
Brutal.
you don't, then they'll be back Saturday night at MSG against Montreal. Seems like it's always a good game against those guys, man. So I'll have to try to watch that one. And then, so the most significant one, and you and I will have to figure out, this is normally the night we record, but on Monday, Chris Kreider and the Anaheim Ducks
Yeah.
flock into Madison Square Garden.
You think Kreider's gonna
eating
cry
bread.
when they give him his little
I don't know.
video?
There might be some waterworks. He's an emotional guy. There might be some waterworks. It'll be good to see Kreider's back. I want to beat those guys. I want to beat him and Trouba and their dumb faces. And speaking of fashion, how about that? How about that cardigan Trouba was rocking? I hate cardigans, man.
He's always rocking a dumb sweater.
I think mommy dresses in. Mommy Trouba.
Straight out of the body check commercial.
Yeah.
Him and his mom. He's got to be a mama's boy.
I really did like Trouba when he was here, but he turned on us and I turned on him. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, man. Monday night, Rangers returned as Ducks, but none more significant than Chris Kreider. He's going to score. Let's just get that out of the way right now. You know, he's going to
Maybe on the
score
power
probably
play.
a power play. Is that a little tip in?
Yeah, this is when we're gonna miss Sam Rosen. It's a power. Oh wait, wrong team.
You know, speaking of Sam Rosen, actually, I think something I did want to ask you, get your take on. How do you feel about the Rangers broadcast situation right now? Because on the way and I'll set it up and I'll kind of tell you how I feel and then get your feeling for it.
Yeah,
It felt like during the off season they told us games, and it was understood that, like, my understanding, and I remember thinking, like, I know he does a lot of football, I know he does like the national hockey games, so I was wondering, is he going to give all that shit up and just do the Rangers? And we're finding out no, he still does football, he still does games on ESPN and TNT. So it feels like, the way I feel about it is like, when I hear him on the broadcast, it doesn't feel like that's our Rangers guy. It feels like the Rangers are on the national game or broadcast. That guy Alex Faust has been
I
kind of
like
making a
him.
name for himself, and I like him too. I like him paired with Boiler. If I had to pick, I mean, no disrespect to Maloney, I like Maloney too, but Maloney kind of to me comes off as like a rambling grandpa, where Boiler is a guy that I watched play, in person, during my era of watching hockey. It's just more relatable. Alex Faust gets into it. It just feels like more of a Rangers broadcast than Kenny Albert.
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess my take would be, why the hell did you even take the job if you're only gonna be there 30% of the time? It doesn't make any sense. I really do like Faust, and I really like Boyle too, but I also really like Maloney. You can tell that when they're on the call, there's much more passion towards the actual team. And not to say that I want them to be like absolute homers, but they're actually calling the team out. I don't think I've heard. Uh, oh crap! Now I'm blanking, but
Boyle,
no,
Faust, Alex
no, the
Faust,
one that we're talking about right now. Crap! I just lost his name. That's how much he's on the cast.
Maloney,
So
Kenny Albert,
Albert. Oh my
Kenny
god!
Albert.
Why couldn't I think of that? Kenny Albert just doesn't have the
I
passion
was
for the actual team like the other three guys do, and you can it's kind of evident. But yeah, I'm actually a fan of this Faust guy. He looks completely different than he sounds, which always geeks me out. He's got that like
yeah,
super deep broadcaster voice, but he looks like a 9 to 5 at a desk job type guy.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, and I like Kenny when he's on the call. I just think it doesn't feel like Sam was our guy.
Yeah.
There was a difference between watching Sam or watching the national broadcast or watching it on TSN or whatever. And I think Ranger fans deserve that. So I'm interested to see what comes of it. It's either gonna, Kenny's gonna either have to decide, or I think Rangers will probably go with Faust. He's been getting more and more of the games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, after this season, how it's been, I couldn't see the Rangers organization being like, "Hey, we want you to be our guy." If he's not gonna commit to being our guy, it wouldn't make sense to me. I really do want Faust to get it.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, I
see
would
what he's
agree. I
got.
just someone that can commit to it and it's their job. It's what they do. It's not like we're sharing them with the rest of the league and the NFL and the Masters and whatever the fuck else
College
he's doing.
football.
Yeah, he's our guy. We know him, so deserve it after one time with Sam.
No,
It's been kind of jarring this season. You don't know who to call, and then
Sam Rosen's been known to do some baseball games and football games, but I don't think he would miss a Rangers game to do those other games.
well, and I think that could happen as Kenny gets older. Like Sam eventually stopped doing that other stuff and will just do the Rangers. Kenny's not there yet in his career. He's still in the peak of his career broadcasting wise, and obviously he probably wants that NFL money, probably wants that national money. So I get it. I just think the Rangers deserve their own guy.
Well, they're not paying him
But
enough to get his eyes
let's get
fixed.
Who
He had
can
a little
he?
bit of a
What's wrong with his eye?
cross-eyed. He's a little cross-eyed, isn't he, or something?
A little buggy eye, a little bug eye. It's a good thing you and I are so good looking. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to talk shit about all these other idiots.
Devastatingly handsome.
I mean, it's just born this way, right? I mean,
Got lucky.
but aim sticks and then and get out of here, man. I don't really have much more to go. And I'm trying to think of my game stick on the go, so I'm gonna put you on the spot, and you're holding the stick anyway. So who's the game stick go to this week?
I really thought about it, and I'm gonna steal yours before you steal it from me. Vlad the Impaler, man.
I like it.
He's just been so solid. Wait, did we give it to him last week? Did you give it to him last week?
I've given it to him. That don't matter. I mean, if someone gets it 2 weeks in a row, it's who deserves it. And
You know what? Actually, scratch that. Vlad does deserve it, but I'm gonna give it to Robertson. Robertson's been a nice little ad. He's
yeah,
been exceeding my expectations. I just really like his play, and anybody over Urin Vakanainen is a win in my book because that dude's hellaciously terrible. So this goes to you, the Ukrainian game stick, Robertson. I don't even
nice.
know his first name. What is his first name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Oh my God, I'm burnt out these days. Who you got, man?
I'm trying to think of who I want. There's so many great options on this team. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna give love to someone I've been critical of, and I don't think he's been tearing the world up, but he's been the Rangers' best forward and most consistent forward. And I got to give some flowers to Mika Zibanejad. I've been hard on him, but
Yes.
he's playing harder this year. I'm seeing more. I wanted more. I asked for more. I'm seeing more. I'm gonna give him some flowers. I'm gonna be tough on him when he sucks. So
He's
I'm gonna
been
give him some
great.
flowers. Mika gets the game stick. He scored some greasy goals. I like that, and he's got a couple one timers now going. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Mika. He's been really good.
I also wanted to mention, now that you brought up Mika, did you notice that Mika and Lafreniere, aside from even them being the two goal scorers against Vegas, they just were the two most noticeable players on the ice every time they were on the ice? Did you notice that as well?
I did notice that about Mika, and to a lesser degree, Laugh. I did think Laugh had a great game against Vegas.
Yeah.
It's the thing that gets you with Lafreniere is he has a game like that, and then all the Lafreniere truthers come out, and then people like you and me are maybe he's breaking out, maybe this is it, and it just doesn't happen. So hopefully he can stay hot. I mean, but yeah, he looked really good against Vegas.
Yeah. I was glad to see that. I like when he has a good game because
I do
it
too. I
just
want him.
gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I mean, if he's bad, we're gonna say it, but like, I don't want him to be bad. Like,
No.
I think it's the same way. We don't want to be critical of this team. We just have to.
So, cool. Yeah. So that's our game sticks.
But that's it.
Congratulations, Mika and Robertson.
Yeah, we'll get back. We should be able to get back together next week, normal time. We'll figure out what we want to do. Maybe we'll stream the Ducks game. Maybe we'll come on right after and get people's reactions. That's gonna be a big thing for Rangers. So keep your
Yeah.
eyes towards coming up on Monday night, a week from tonight.
Yeah. So please follow, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your grandma, tell whoever. We're just a bunch of two Virginia boys who love the New York Rangers trying to get out there. So help us out. And with that being said, I got
Yeah,
nothing else. Palmer, do
definitely.
you have anything else?
No, till next
Forever
time.
hold your peace.
Till next time. Thank you, everyone.
All right, take care, guys.